was held at the Titan Stadium, and it was open to the public.
You know, we've seen how big an issue stolen guns are. So far this year, nearly 1,200 guns have been taken from cars just in Nashville. But the problems don't stop there. If you own guns or you're thinking about buying one, you'll definitely want to hear this, because our investigative reporter Jeremy Finley found a big box chain store actually sold stolen weapons twice.
Umon Moore came to Tennessee to visit friends and do a little target practice, but ended up in handcuffs when the gun he bought legally from a big box chain came up as stolen in an FBI database.
I hate to do it, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to detain you, okay?
And we found he isn't the only one who bought a gun from a big box chain and had no idea it was stolen.
I don't want to buy a stolen gun. You know, nobody does.
Tonight at 6, we show you how a stolen gun can easily be sold at legitimate stores, even big box chains. You'll see how when WSMV4 investigates tonight at 6. Jeremy Finley, WSMV4 investigates.
To Clarksville now, where roads are back open after a crash there earlier today.
And Umon Moore, a legal gun owner from Minnesota, will go from target practice.
I hate to do it, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to detain you, okay?
To being handcuffed by a deputy. The reason? Even though Moore legally bought a gun from this box chain store in Minnesota, turns out it's stolen. Listen to the dispatcher when the gun's serial number is run.
40 cal Springfield coming back stolen.
So wait a second, how can a stolen gun be legally sold from a big box chain? A joint investigation with our NBC station in Minneapolis, KARE 11, reveals a loophole in our nation's ability to track and recover stolen guns, resulting in not one, but 2 gun owners buying the same gun without realizing it was stolen.
Did you assume that when you bought a gun from a legitimate store that it was background checked somehow?
You assume so. You think so, you know. I don't want to buy a stolen gun. You know, nobody does.
To understand, you have to follow the trail of the stolen gun. Investigative reporter A.J. Legault found the .40 caliber was actually stolen from Arizona in 2013. In 2020, this man, Gilbert Martinez Rivera, bought the same gun from Shields, a big box chain store in Minnesota. He then sold it back to that store.
Did you have any idea that that gun was stolen?
No, not at all. No. If I would have knew that gun was stolen, I would have never bought it.
And that's when Umon Moore bought the gun and took it to Tennessee for target practice, where he would ultimately be cuffed, the gun taken into custody. Moore wasn't charged, as Shields confirms. He bought it from the store.
From Minnesota, I definitely got paperwork for that.
He sued Shields, claiming they should have known it was stolen. But a judge dismissed the case after the store argued firearm dealers do not have access to any database to trace firearms. You heard right, states like Minnesota do not allow stores to have access to the FBI's database of stolen firearms. Only law enforcement can do that.
You can't just type in the serial number and get an answer on that.
No, I wish we could, but no, not as of now anyway.
We'll run a gun check.
But in Tennessee, it's a different story, sort of. Gun stores do have access to the FBI's database, but it's voluntary.
I have a Glock 19 here.
So, do Tennessee gun stores run the background on guns for sale?
Every single gun that we get in.
But the reality is you don't have to.
I don't believe we have to, as far as law goes. It is our store policy that every single used gun will be ran.
What Umon Moore went through exposes holes in how guns can be stolen and then sold legally in our country. Meaning, if you buy a gun in Tennessee from a store that opts not to do a background when it was sold to them, you could be in possession of a stolen gun and never know.
Wow, Jeremy, that's surprising to a lot of people. But I got to ask you about this. What about the new gun law, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act? Does it close this loophole?
Well, Marius, it does allow stores across the country access to the FBI's database, but it's unclear when and how that's going to happen. And even when it does, It's like Tennessee's law. It's voluntary. Stores can run the background checks on guns if they choose, or they can choose not to. Also, we checked with 2 of Middle Tennessee's biggest box chain stores that sell guns, Bass Pro Shop and Academy Sports, to see if they run background checks on guns sold to them. We are still waiting for their answers. And if your gun is stolen and you don't report it, remember, you're only making the situation worse. Marius?
Wow, a lot of people should be concerned tonight, Jeremy. Thank you. Metro Police says more than 70% of all guns reported stolen this year were taken from cars. So far, there have been nearly 1,700 guns stolen in Nashville. Last week alone, there were 20 guns reported stolen from cars and trucks, and drivers are making it easier for thieves. Police say most of the thefts are from cars that are unlocked.
We've got new details tonight about a hit-and-run investigation in Clarksville. Police say this